Welcome to Women Live TV, brought to you by Southern Crescent Women in Business Media. I am Ariel Shaw, founder and president of Southern Crescent Women in Business, and it was important for me this year to ensure that our women were getting proper exposure. We are a conglomerate of women-owned businesses and women in business in the Southern Crescent. We are here to change the economic landscape of the Southern Crescent. We're here to fund women-owned businesses, and we are here to advocate for women-owned businesses. Welcome to Women Live TV. Welcome to Women Live by Southern Crescent Women in Business. I am Ariel Shaw, founder and president of Southern Crescent Women in Business. We are a conglomerate of women-owned business and women in business in the Southern Crescent. Women Live is sponsored by Sherry DeVals Denard, State Farm Agency, Kim Mays, State Farm Agency, and Southern Crescent Women in Business. We have the pleasure of speaking with Miss Kimberly Corbin of Meeting Shields today. Welcome, Kimberly.
Hi, thank you so much for welcoming me. I'm excited to be here today.
We are so ecstatic to learn more about your business because you have pivoted. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So I call it an adapt and change more so than a pivot because in basketball terms, a pivot is really turning backwards. And what we've all had to do if we were going to be successful during this pandemic is to adapt to the situation that we are in and change our mindset.
I like it.
And so I was an event producer for the last 15 years and in the hospitality industry for a total of 25. And obviously the hospitality industry completely shut down. And we were the first to be let go and the last ones always to be brought back up. And so there was no solution to be able to get back to business. And most people had dried up all of their funding, everything that was coming in and whatever their net income was. I have 4 daughters, 2 in college and 2 at home, and an amazing husband. But, I also have a degree and, I have a mindset that I have done so much work in this industry and I did not want to see it go away. Yeah. We had quite a bit of people in the industry who were not giving a solution how to get back safely. Okay. And they were not offering any solutions with regards to, aside from masks and sanitization sprays. So we said, well, how do we get people back in to be able to maximize these spaces and be able to create some customized products specifically for the hospitality industry? So at that point, my partner and I sat down and came up with a business plan. And based upon that, really started doing a lot of work with the manufacturing industry, which is completely not dominated by people who look like me.
I can imagine.
It's very male dominated and very non-minority dominated. And so we had to really do the business of research first and understanding the concept of shielding in order to max spaces and the chemical process behind that and fabrication and all those words. And then we went into PPE products. And from that point, we really wanted to make sure, because we are a B2B2C company that is driven specifically by whatever the industries are looking right now to be able to get back into business. We started working with, I want to say we're close to up to 20 service providers that do everything from COVID tracing to contact tracing, emergency housing, now charter air services, to create a complete bubble for 7 different vertical markets. So everything from air to education, hospitality, healthcare, entertainment spaces, event venues, federal and state. And so now we are literally the largest company globally that does risk management, emergency management preparedness, and risk mitigation globally to be able to get organizations back up and running safely.
That is amazing. So tell me how it has been with the journey, because what you're basically saying is the pandemic birthed a new business.
It did. Yeah. What we are learning now, there's a learning curve to organizations. It's not a sexy conversation. Most people don't want to talk about shields and PPE and, gowns and gloves and sprays and what is it? But we are learning that is what we call duty of care. And these are the things that you're going to need to do in order to get back into business safely, for your staff, for your customers, for your employees, in order to be safe. And we kind of felt that it is our duty to be able to teach these organizations how to get back and do it differently and do business in a new way where we're actually caring about the individuals that we'll be partnering with.
That's really good. So what started you on this entrepreneurship journey?
You know what? I call myself a proud dropout out of corporate America. I went to Johnson & Wales University and went for hospitality degrees and all of those different certifications that you can get. I left and went into the hotel side, which I really, really loved. But what I did not see, that was 15 years in national sales, and I had kind of gotten burnt out doing things, domestically. And I did not see that women or marginalized communities were being treated with the same contractual terms regarding the contracts that they were getting to host meetings and events.
Wow.
They were really just getting the basics on, we call it rates, dates, and space. They were getting a lower rate and some amenities, but there's probably about 70 different negotiable terms in any contract that they were not getting the benefit of that the larger Fortune 100 companies were getting.
Wow.
And I was very upset with not being able to share that with them. In a variety of spaces and a lot of large organizations I felt were not being represented at the table. And I have a saying that it's not about, if you're not being represented at the table, build your own table, but not just build your own table, you have to learn table manners, right? So it's
I like
about
that.
when you're having table manners, that's really about ethics and the morality that's involved with having conversations and around contractual terms. And so I stepped out on my own and I started working on both sides with citywide conventions, celebrity productions, everything from conception to post-production, to be able to teach those now organizations everything from Essence Music Festival to BET to obviously standard corporations and associations as well, and United Negro College Fund, but being able to come back to the door and say, let's look at this a little differently and let's look at how these contracts can benefit you and your attendees.
So again, what prompted you to get out of corporate? So you were building your own table, but was there something else,
Absolutely.
a dream? Tell me a little bit about that.
My parents I was raised in I was raised with a family that was, they were on the board of directors for corporations their entire life. And so that's all I knew was to be able to go to work and work up lots of hours and for the gold watch in 30 years.
Yeah.
And that was not something that I could see for myself. I wanted to be able to have the flexibility to have it all, but at the time that I wanted it. So a family when I wanted it, flexible income that had no ceiling on it, that I was working for my dream and not to be a cog in somebody else's dream.
That's good. So you have how many daughters?
I have 4. We have 2 in college and 2 in high school at this point.
So are they following in your footsteps?
You know what? They are. Although they are doing extraordinarily well in the areas that they're in. During the pandemic, they birthed their own business this past year.
Wow.
And they were very frustrated with the fact that they could not get hair products and could not get beauty products because beauty supplies stores were closed. And so they launched a company by the name of 4 Sisters because they're 4 sisters and they have done extraordinarily well in their own right.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So how many entrepreneurs are in your family?
5. So myself, my sister was the first, and now my daughters.
That's amazing. How has that support looked like? What has that support looked like?
It's beautiful because people understand when you have to put in the long hours sometimes on the front end.
Yeah.
In order to realize your dream, but it's your dream. It's not somebody else's dream.
Right.
It's sustainable. It's long term, and at the end of the day, it's passive income. Somebody cannot stop your bag, so to speak.
Right.
Can we say that again?
That is amazing.
what would you give what advice would you give a woman getting into entrepreneurship?
Learn your craft. Lots of people try to be jack of all trades, but a master of none. Figure out what you are answering as far as a solution.
Yeah.
Because that's going to make you more viable. Find out what your competition is doing and build a team before you even start. I think that is a very big pitfall that a lot of corporations do not.
That's interesting.
It's a foundation, and that foundation looks like your legal team, your financial team, your branding team, your social media team.
Right.
All if you are not willing to put the work in, they say, what is it? If you don't plan to or fail to plan, then you plan to fail.
Absolutely. So as a new entrepreneur and starting that, how do you establish that team?
Oh, goodness. I think it's by executing a ton of people around your network. Your net worth is your net worth at the end of the day. And so those are the people, as you're building your foundation, which are going to help you in order to be successful. So you're going to look for people that are around you that are tested, not necessarily in your immediate circle, but look for referrals that are in all of those different aspects where you need to have the basic core of your business that's going to run the behind the scenes to allow you to be on the front lines and be successful.
That's really good. Tell us what we don't know about Kimberly.
What a lot of people do not realize is how many times I had to fail on the way up.
Yep.
And I call it failing forward.
Yes,
right. So
that's good. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
Fail forward and fail fast.
Yes. And get up and keep going.
That's it.
And every day, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
You have to keep yourself motivated. I have a business coach, and she keeps me accountable. I believe in something I called ASID, which is being authentic and being strategic and intentional and diversifying the people that are around you. And those are the things that I have to motivate myself with on a daily basis in order to not only keep myself driven and focused on what the mission is, but the people around me. So this is the finished product. Which is always a product in transition because we should always be growing.
Absolutely.
But it's not always easy, and you have to put the work in on a daily basis.
And we will be right back with Kimberly Corbin after this commercial break.
Hello, I am your State Farm agent, Sherry DeVos-Tenard. I'm located here in the industrious side of McDonough, Georgia, just south of the Atlanta airport. Our address is 422 Highway 155 South. Stop by my office if you're looking for an exceptional customer experience. We customize your quote according to your special and unique needs for your family. I often coach my team on the fact that we don't just offer insurance and financial services. In fact, we offer protection against life's unexpected moments. We offer our expertise, and therefore, we have a responsibility and privilege to educate people on the art of insurance. As a business leader in this community, I believe in giving back. I do believe if we're all doing a little, it adds up to be a lot. You can find me on all social media platforms and on Facebook at Your Agent, Sherry DeVos-Tenard, as well as Instagram and LinkedIn.
Hello, and welcome to Kim Mays State Farm Agency. I'm Kim Mays, the owner of Kim Mays State Farm Agency, located here in Stockbridge, Georgia. We're a local insurance agent providing auto, homeowners, life, and health insurance. Our value is that we provide personal customer service to our customers, taking the time to get to know them and making sure that we're providing the coverage that will best protect their family and their needs. If you would like to have a policy review or an appointment today, please give us a call at 770-282-6622, or you can find us online at www.coveredbykim.com. Thanks, and we look forward to hearing from you.
from commercial with Kimberly Corbin of Meeting Shields. So Kimberly, you mentioned that you have a business coach. Now, is that your mentor or do you have a mentor?
I have multiple mentors.
Okay, tell us a
So
little bit.
it really depends on the industry that I am working in at a time, because I have two businesses. I still am an executive producer on one end. So I look for people from that perspective who are giants kind of in the industry, who have blazed those trails for women and for people of color and have been very successful, whether it's blacks in tourism, people who are in meetings and events who have been really successful from that perspective. And then now I look to women who have transitioned from one industry to another and have diversified successfully. And we've had conversations. I sit on several different panels where we're able to give back to other youths as well who are coming up.
So this is the second time I heard you say diversification. Why is that important?
In order for you to grow and scale in your business, you have to understand the flexibility of where you are currently and be able to move and shift into other industries that may possibly need your service or product.
That is really good. So not only are you still in an industry that is growing, but you've birthed an entire new business in the middle of a pandemic. And I know you said pivot. It's not exactly the word, but it was used so much in 2020.
It was.
And you recently won an award as it relates to being able to pivot. And what that meant is being able to start a new business. And, you know, you were in an industry that was directly impacted by the pandemic, but that didn't stop you. So what do you tell other entrepreneurs that we've had over 40% of businesses that have closed in the pandemic. So some weren't able to pivot, or some just didn't know how to. What do you tell those businesses that are still around? They might be struggling. What advice do you give them?
My biggest advice is to tell them now is the time to study and learn associate organizations or companies that you can either be a supplier for those organizations that may possibly work with you, or collaborate with other industries. Now is the time to be able to, we've been afforded time to be able to go back and study, to go back and to get more certifications, to be able to go back and kind of cross-train in other industries to now, when your industry is coming back, you can make yourself more viable.
Absolutely. So collaboration is extremely important.
True.
Partnership
Yes.
is extremely important. What do you tell your daughters as they struggle, or as they learn this new craft with their entrepreneurship journey? What do you tell them daily so that they don't give up?
Probably the biggest thing that I tell them is life in general is going to throw you.
Yeah.
When you're not prepared for it. But that's what makes you stronger. I call those growing pains. If you're not taking the time to learn who you are, to study who you are, to build a team around you, to have a backup plan, to the backup plan, to the backup plan.
Okay.
You know, you're going to be left behind. The world is always going to be able to come back. So we always tell people when it comes to risk mitigation now, this time it's COVID. Before that, we were looking at mass shooters and trying to keep them out. Before that, it was SARS and bird flu. It's always going to be something. So how do you make yourself relevant and to continue to keep learning and stretching yourself and being flexible and being open?
That's really good. What else do we need to know about Kimberly Corbin today?
Oh, goodness. That's a hard question. I think just I am an individual who is just always here now. I have a mission to make sure that we as an industry, we as different vertical markets look at the business of doing business differently, where it was very self-serving and very capitalistic before. I think now we have to look and see what we can give back to not only our staff, our employees, to the people that we work with on a daily basis, our partners and our collaborators, how do we look at those things different? How do we appreciate them? How do we make sure that they're safe? And that is my mission.
That's really good. Share with us any challenges you've had as a woman in business and how you've overcome them.
Probably the biggest challenge that I've had is people taking me seriously as a woman, as a person of color in a field that, number one, didn't necessarily exist. The type of industries that I work with now are very medical based or technology based or manufacturing based. We don't always sit at those decision-making tables.
Right.
And so when I am having conversations, I'm talking to CEOs, I'm talking to CTOs, I'm talking to CMOs, and they're not only understanding that it is a niche, but they're understanding that this is now the cost of doing business. And now it makes sense that in the economy and the current world that we live in, that it is going to behoove them to do business with a woman. And it's going to behoove them to do business with a person of color because, it's going to lift all tides at the end of the day. So we're very excited about that.
Yes.
And so the
Times
conversations,
are changing.
the conversations are very different that I'm having now than when we first started in February of last year, when
Isn't
now
that
they're
something?
coming back to us and saying, I need you to get this particular contract.
Right.
Feels good.
That is amazing. And listen, it has been a pleasure talking with you, Miss Kimberly Corbin of Meeting Shields. Tell the audience, how do we get in contact with Meeting Shields?
Absolutely. So we have 3 offices. Our main headquarter office is in Fayette County, Georgia. We have a showroom floor, which is located in Buckhead, in Atlanta, and a regional office, which is in DC. For Meeting Shields, you would be able to just go to meetingshields.com to be able to look us up, or you can contact me directly at kcorbin@meetingshields.com, and our local number is 404-382-8020.
Thank you, Kimberly. And this has been another episode of Women Live TV. Thank you. I am Ariel Shaw.
Hello, and welcome to Kim Mays State Farm Agency. I'm Kim Mays, the owner of Kim Mays State Farm Agency, located here in Stockbridge, Georgia. We're a local insurance agent providing auto, homeowners, life, and health insurance. Our value is that we provide personal customer service to our customers, taking the time to get to know them and making sure that we're providing the coverage that will best protect their family and their needs. If you would like to have a policy review or an appointment today, please give us a call at 770-282-6622, or you can find us online at www.coveredbykim.com. Thanks, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Hello, I am your State Farm agent, Sherry DeVos-Tenard. I'm located here in the industrious side of McDonough, Georgia, just south of the Atlanta airport. Our address is 422 Highway 155 South. Stop by my office if you're looking for an exceptional customer experience. We customize your quote according to your special and unique needs for your family. I often coach my team on the fact that we don't just offer insurance and financial services. In fact, we offer protection against life's unexpected moments. We offer our expertise, and therefore, we have a responsibility and privilege to educate people on the art of insurance. As a business leader in this community, I believe in giving back. I do believe if we're all doing a little, it adds up to be a lot. You can find me on all social media platforms and on Facebook at Your Agent, Sherry DeVos Denard, as well as Instagram and LinkedIn.